has reduced the policy rate significantly. The central bank dropped its key lending rate to commercial banks by 100 basis points to 22.5%. This is the second reduction for this year after the biggest rate cut of 200 basis points in March. The development could lead to further reduction in the cost of credit in the country. Governor Dr. Ernest Addison said the move was influenced by a favorable economic outlook for the country.
The committee noted that the pace of economic activity has picked up, driven mainly by growth in private sector credit, improved business sentiments, and easing credit stance. Furthermore, increased oil production from the Jubilee and 10 fields and the coming on stream of further activity in the oil and gas sector from the fields by the third quarter of the year should give added impetus to overall growth prospects. In sum, there is evidence to suggest that economic imbalances that existed at the end of 2016 are giving way to stronger fundamentals, with growth to pick up strongly in the period ahead, although it will remain below potential. The 2017 budget indicates a return to the path of fiscal consolidation. The reduction in the fiscal deficit for the year is expected to foster more stable macroeconomic conditions. Rigorous and steadfast implementation of the budget will therefore be critical to the outlook. On inflation, the committee noted that headline inflation and inflation expectations have broadly trended downwards. The disinflation process has been supported by tight policy stance and exchange rate stability. With a stable outlook for exchange rate movements and return to the path of fiscal consolidation, headline inflation is expected to trend towards the medium-term target in 2018, barring any unanticipated shocks. Given these considerations, the committee judged that the downside risks to growth outweigh the upside risks to inflation in the outlook, and therefore decided to reduce the policy rate by 100 basis points to 22.5%. The committee would continue to monitor risks and take the necessary policy actions to move the headline inflation towards the medium-term target. Thank you very much.
All right, so we'll bring you some more analysis on this new development shortly on the marketplace. Now, away from that, the country's debt stock has increased by 5 billion cedis in just 3 months to reach 127 billion cedis. This is according to the latest economic and financial data released by the Bank of Ghana. But is this a sign that government is losing the fight against containing rising public debt? George Rafi has more.
The significant increase in the public debts in just 3 months has raised questions about the effectiveness of government's plan of reducing the rising public expenditure, despite several policies like debt reprofiling to contain the situation. The 127 billion debt stock recorded is still higher than what was posted in the same period of 2016. It's accounted for more than half of the total debt stock. But sources close to government insist the increase didn't come about as a result of fresh borrowings on the part of this new administration, but rather the cedi's depreciation in the first 3 months of this year, some payments that were already arranged by the previous administration, which were made in the first quarter of this year, that resulted in a significant jump in the debt stock. The source adds measures instituted by this administration to contain the debts will be seen after June this year. However, when you look at the 127 billion Ghana cedi debt in relation to the size of the economy, it has reduced to about 62%. This could lead to the country being removed from the list of countries that might have serious challenges in paying its debts on time. On the banking front, the data showed that the industry wasn't doing that bad, despite reports that some 9 banks are in serious financial distress. It showed strong growth in lending to the private sector, deposit attraction, growth in assets, and also marginal reduction in loans that banks fear might go bad. The amount of money the country has to support imports in case of crisis has reached $6.3 billion.
George Riafe with that report. And that's it for business for now. Join me again at 1 p.m. shortly on the Marketplace. My name is Emmanuel Ampwaji. Good afternoon.